Okie dokie. Been to Agne. Good afternoon, good morning. Hello, Joe, Lisa, Beaver, good morning, good afternoon. How is everybody? Eugena, IN1, hello, hello. Alexander Martin, Tina Brown, Furry Friends, Dana, hello from Seattle. Deborah Roberts, hi Deborah. That's so funny. Deborah from Oakland, hi Deborah from Oakland. On this read for Deborah, heart to Deborah Roberts. And Al, say hi to Al, tell him I miss him. Out here, hi Drew. Drew wrote Food on the Brain. Dr. Drew, I want to talk to her. She's really interesting, such a great book. Cote from Omaha, Nebraska. My Peace and Love from San Diego. Hi, I just read there's a big car crash in San Diego, so heart out to you. Joe, hi, Read for America. Yes, that is today. We're in celebration of that Read for America Day. And that's why we're going to be talking about a book that you can read today. We're going to be talking with my brother Mark. I just want to say it right up front. He is my brother, but that's not why yeah, it is kind of why I'm talking to him. Yeah, it is actually. I'm talking to him because he's got this great new book. Can you see it? It's called Hidden Heroes, 10 Hidden Heroes. And Counting, Fun, Seek, and Find. It came out today on Read for America Day. Is that what it's called, Read for America Day? Yeah, and so this is to promote reading with your kids, reading with anybody. If you have somebody who will read with you, share poems with you, if you have kids, grandchildren, this is a great book. The illustrations are fantastic. It's all about looking for the hidden heroes in our everyday life. It's cool backwards. Oh, cool cat. Thank you. Yeah, you can read it backwards too. Yes, that's right. I hadn't thought about that. I could read it backwards, starting with 1, because he starts with 10. And it says, helps children develop counting skills while learning the ways to make the world a better place. So we can all look and we can all try to find the way to make the world a better place, right? Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss. Yeah, Dr. Seuss is in the news today. All the Places You Go, one of my all-time favorite books. Dr. Seuss's enterprise is taking some books out, but some books obviously will remain. So there are many of his books that will still be published, and there are many other great children's books to focus on today. This is one of them, Hidden Heroes. Mark also runs Save the Children, and they do so much incredible, great work every single day, all the time. Send invite to Mark Shriver. Yeah, we have to send an invite to him, but he's supposed to just be here. So I hope everybody is having a great beginning of Women's History Month, even though we're talking to a man today. This is a man who was shaped by an incredible woman, and I don't mean me, I mean my mother, although I have had I've had something to do with him, as has his incredible wife, Jeannie, his 2 daughters, Emma and Molly. Molly often writes for Mark Shriver, says, I'm on, Maria. Well, I don't see you, Marky. So can you please request to be interviewed, Mark? Because you don't have a request. So I'm trying to find you, Mark Shriver, as I continue to talk about your great new book that anybody can get. We'll also talk about it in the Sunday paper. We often feature Mark in the Sunday paper. Mark is not requesting, so where is Mark? And I want you to send invite to Mark, because Mark isn't coming up. Mark Shriver, I can't get on, so send a request, Mark. Oh, don't you have a woman there, Mark, who can help you? Do you have a woman there, Mark, who can help you? Maria, I need a date with you. Whoa. Who is that? Anyway, while I'm waiting for, he is not on. I know that. I know he's not on. That's why I'm continuing to talk about his great new book. Mark Shriver, I see you. So other people are saying they see you. Mark Shriver, send request. a request to you, Mark Shriver, and hopefully then you will accept my request and come on, because you can talk about all the great work you do with children. Oh,
Maria?
there you are, Marky. Oh my God, I thought you were going to make me wait and wait and wait. But
We couldn't get on, and I had Emma was doing all the back and forth, and she's in school, and I'm sorry. I was just loving the way you were talking about the book, though. That was so great.
That's so great. Well, I said there are women in your house who can help you get on. It's Women's History Month, and you have been shaped by all the women in your life and the women in your house. So I'm so glad that a woman came to get you onto this Instagram Live. So it's Publication Day, Read for America Day, right?
It is. Yes, it's Read for America Day. It's Emma took care of me. I'm so excited. It's pub date. So excited about the book. It's really, I hope, a great story, and that you'll enjoy it with your granddaughter.
That's right. I've already read it to my children, who remind me they're adults, but they can always be interested in how to make the world a better place. So Mark, you've written other books. You wrote a great book about Daddy called The Good Man. You wrote a book about Pope Francis, and now you've shifted to this. What made you want to do a book about hidden heroes for children?
I just have always, as you know, really been interested. I mean, I've worked with kids all my life. When I was in college, tutoring kids from Hartford and New Haven public school systems, when I graduated from college, working with juvenile delinquents in Baltimore City, and then for the last 18 years working for Save the Children. And we really focus on those first 5 years of life, 0 to 5, where so much brain growth happens. And I know the power of a good story. And I'm hoping that this very simple book will get across the message, not only teach kids how to count, from 1 to 10, but spend time with their parents, their godparents, their grandparents, their uncles, aunts, their friends. And kids will search for the heroes, and then they'll have hopefully a conversation about why a kid who's helping his little sister is a hero, or why somebody picking up the trash is a hero, or why a Special Olympian is a hero. So it's a different definition of heroes too, right? As we've talked about, in America, we focus so much on heroes as people who have a lot of money, who are famous, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, the CEO's got millions of dollars, but this is a different definition of heroes.
I always say that a hero, right, is also somebody who's scared, that somebody who is afraid to do something and then steps up and does it anyway. Do you talk about the role of fear with heroes?
No, because it's really, honestly, it's a rhyming book. There's, as you know, 4 sentences on every page, so it's 40 sentences in total. It's trying to inspire and have fun conversations about what heroes can do. Somebody's
asking, who were you taught were heroes when you were kids? Who do you remember Mommy and Daddy telling you were heroes, other than Uncle Jack?
And you and Uncle Jack?
Oh, really? No, but I think that's really important, right? Because you're trying to get parents, grandparents, caregivers and stuff to begin this conversation at a really young age, to kind of get into kids' minds about, oh, a hero is this, not that, right? Who do you recall Mommy and Daddy telling you about?
It's a great question. And I guess I was always, interested in the people that were around, us, but doing kind of the things that weren't getting all the credit and the recognition. Like a guy that, as you know, worked with us at the family for 40 years, showed up every day, Richard Ragsdale, and did his job and never, complained a little bit, but it was always in good nature. I remember Mommy talking about Rocky Bleier, the football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who wasn't the best player on that team, but who went to fight in the Vietnam War because he thought that was the right thing to do, who got hurt, but still persevered and made the team. People that aren't, I know people that make the NFL are considered heroes to a certain degree, but I was always interested in the folks that didn't get the limelight and didn't get a lot of the credit or make a lot of money.
I think that's so great. Mommy also talked a lot about all the volunteers.
And the parents of Special Olympians. You're right. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's good. She always talked about how Special Olympics couldn't survive were it not for the volunteers, and that all the young volunteers who came to volunteer with people with special needs were her heroes. She also talked a lot about Mary being a hero that kind of guided her. She talked about her own mom being her hero, and oftentimes so many kids think they have to look someplace else for their heroes, and often their heroes are right in their own home.
I think that's 100% right. You said it beautifully. And I think, you know, Mommy talked a lot about the Special Olympics parents as doing the really heroic work of raising their kids, bringing them to the athletic events, encouraging them, nurturing them.
Right.
These are all the kind of heroes that are celebrated in this book, right? They're
Right.
the heroes, as Pope Francis says, live next door.
So let's look at these. The illustrations, I have to say, are also terrific, by a woman, Laura Watson. So I think these illustrations are really great. You start out talking about 10 hidden heroes working night and day, nursing others back to health until they are okay. All the nurses out there. Then you move on to teaching. 9 hidden heroes teaching right and wrong, making rules to keep us safe and help us get along. And so there's so many different images that people can see in the book. It's really big, so people like me can read it. Right? The illustrations are great. So it's not only, you know, teaching right for all. It's the people that drive the school bus. It's the school crossing people. It's the people, the lifeguards. It's, you know, somebody caring for a kid on the beach. It's kind of like, you know, those they used to have in highlights, you know, find the person, find the person in the image. I used to love that. And when I'd sit in the pediatrician's office, I'd pull out the highlight, and even though it was meant for like a 5-year-old, I'd be like, oh, let me see what I can find. But you also have a little bit of that in this book, right?
That's exactly right. It's, you know, searching for those heroes and then having the conversation about why is a lifeguard a hero? And, you know, in that first one, I think there's a little boy or a little girl helping her little sibling out, you know, so it's doctors and nurses doing great heroic work, but also you can do it in your family. You can, you know, clean the dishes. You can, and different characters in there as well, leading. So there's in the Alice in Wonderland, I think it's on number 3, Maria, the lead actor in the Alice in Wonderland is a young lady who is on crutches. And there's somebody in a wheelchair participating in a road race, raising funds for the homeless. So there's, so, you know, it's a different type of hero as well. And I'm hoping people ask their significant others, you know, little kids say, why is a Special Olympian who's got a developmental disability, how can that child be a hero? Because they can be a hero because they're teaching us. And that's what, you know, we were taught when we were growing up, right?
Yeah, and I like to always emphasize, because people often think of heroes as really brave people, people who don't have fear. And I just always like to remind people, because all of us have fear, right? You're probably scared on your publication day. You're worried, like, will people buy my book? Will people tune into my conversation? Will, if you're a Special Olympics athlete, will I be able to compete in the race? If you're a mom, will anybody invite my kid over? These are kind of common day fears, and heroes push through those fears, right? To use the moment to teach us, help us. You have in here Special Olympics, which is great. You have kids from all over the world. You have Kids for Peace Summit. You have people helping the environment. You have a hero award at the end of the book.
It's to encourage the little readers to think about how they can be heroic in their own homes. And, you know, we have best buddies in there, and that the Special Olympics, we've got a young athlete from Israel arm in arm with a young athlete from the United Arab Emirates. So these are folks that are, you know, leading the way, and they can lead the way whether they have developmental disabilities or whether they don't. So
Mark, talk a minute about here. You talk about the Peace Corps is also in here. Talk a minute about the importance of reading in your work, because your work at Save the Children, you talk about the importance of reading to children, particularly 5 and under, and how that forms their brain, how that makes them ready for kindergarten, preschool, and the like. So this is a book that you can read with a young child, but why is that so important on Read for America Day?
It's on Read for America Day. Thank you with the book out there.
Amazon, bookshop.org.
There you go.
Independent bookstore.
But I saw some of the Head Start. There was a couple of Head Start teachers in there when I was trying to get on the call. And I mean, those folks know the answer to this, that 90% of brain growth happens in the first 5 years of life. So when pause. That's a really big figure. So just repeat that again. 90% of the brain growth happens in the first 5 years of life. So wow. It's a huge time for, I mean, people used to think that the first 5 years of life were snacks and a nap, but we know that's not right. We know that the brain, the synapses fire when a parent, a mom, a dad reads to a kid, talks to a kid, sings nursery songs or nursery rhymes. and that will actually help grow the child's brain. So if you sit down with a 2 or 3 year old and go through this book or any book or just sing songs to them, they're going to learn words. Their brain is going to grow. So those first 5 years are crucial. And if you live in poverty in this country, you don't hear as many words as if you don't live in poverty. And
Right.
by the age of 4, a kid can be 18 months behind a child who doesn't live in poverty. So it's a huge issue for poor children who are poor to have books, to understand the importance of literacy, to be read to hear those songs that we took for granted when we were growing up, to play those games, you know, those fine motor skill games where you put the round thing in the round hole and the square one in the square hole, Maria.
Yeah.
As you know, that's stimulating the kid's brain, right? Your
But
children's
I think
brain.
I'm just having a really good idea. Is there any way, and maybe you're not set up for this, but is there any way that we could, like, for example, I could buy 100 books and donate them to a Head Start center, donate them to an area that doesn't have as many books so
Love
that
it.
kids can get these books?
We've had a couple people that bought hundreds of, you know, literally a couple thousand of these books and sent them to Head Start programs. So that would be great. We'd love to. People want to get involved. If they want to buy books, we can send them to Save the Children programs, or we can distribute them out through other organizations as well. But, you know, we have over 100,000 kids participating here in the U.S. in Save the Children programs. And
So what we're going to do then on and the Sunday paper, the midweek tomorrow, we're going to put this up, and maybe you could give us a link where they could actually go to Head Start centers if we buy. I thought I was being nice buying a couple hundred, but you just shamed me and said somebody's bought a couple thousand. But I think that's a really great thing that we could, you know, send, if you want, you know, buy a book if you want to buy it for your child or your grandchild. But if your child is in a Head Start center, a Save the Children program, we can buy books and make sure that they get sent so that people have a chance to read. So often parents are working 2 jobs and they don't have the time. Right? They don't have the quality time to sit down and read a book because parents are so stressed today. They're so maxed out. Every mom that I talk to who's got school-age kids is pulling her hair out, right?
Yes.
And so finding the time to sit and read with your child is so important for school readiness, correct?
That's 100% right. It's that you can't, if you're entering kindergarten far behind, those kids are going to struggle to get back to grade level by the end of 3rd grade. And they're going to, unfortunately, struggle not only through elementary school, but beyond. So that first 5 years is so critical. And that's why, you know, the book is ultimately for that age group and for their parents.
Okay. So Hidden Heroes is the name of the book, 10 Hidden Heroes. We're going to put this up in the Sunday paper midweek. We're going to find a way to link so that you can donate these also to Save the Children or to Head Start. And Mark is out there all the time working on Save the Children, working for Save the Children, and encouraging parents to read, encouraging families to read. And now he's encouraging us to have this much needed conversation about the hidden heroes that are everywhere. Like, I have a hidden hero here with Sydney, who helps me every day.
Thanks to Sydney and to you, Maria. Thank you.
Patty, all the people that help us every day. Sometimes we think, and they don't like the word hero because it sounds like, oh God, I have to be such a, but you know, kind of, they are heroic in that every day they give, people give. And so they give of themselves. And so I think it's a great thing that today, maybe each of us could shout out somebody who's doing something that we deem heroic for us.
Hey, that's beautiful. Thank you. And thank Patty and Sydney and you, because really appreciate your presence and your presence in my life. I really am grateful.
Oh, Mark, that's the nicest thing he's ever said to me. This is
come on.
Okay, congratulations, Mark.
Thanks a million. Have a great day.
Info in the Sunday paper.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Beautiful book. Lots of love. Okay.
Bye.
There is Mark. No, I'm not. I don't want to end this live video. Oh, I guess I did. Okay. And now.